you're looking to move to Pennsylvania or one of the bordering states, you might feel a bit overwhelmed just because of the amount of small areas, cities, towns, and overall all the different options of areas that you can move to. A lot of people that watch my channel and then reach out to me about buying a home in Pennsylvania, they say that they're pretty flexible on the specific location, but they just know that they want to be somewhere within the Northeast. Depending on the location in Pennsylvania, you could be an hour or two drive to New Jersey, New York, Delaware, and a bunch of other surrounding states. So in this video, we're going to go over the true comparison between Pennsylvania and Delaware. Since this video is based strictly on facts and not my opinion, like this video if you think Pennsylvania will win, or comment below if you think Delaware will win. Stick around to the end to find out which one of these two states might actually have a lot higher taxes than you would think. Starting out with the cost of living, compared to the national average cost of living index, which is 100, Pennsylvania has a cost of living index of 92.5, and Delaware has a cost of living index of 102.7. And now for the household median income of these two different states, the Pennsylvania household income is $63,627 compared to Delaware's median household income of $69,110. And now moving over to the average price of a home in Pennsylvania, which is $234,000, and the median price of a home in Delaware is $304,000. And keep that in mind that these two numbers are just the entire state. So depending on where in one of these two states you're leaning towards, make sure to comment below or reach out to me and I'll give you the median price of a home in whatever area or areas that you're thinking about moving to. And now for the population between these two states. So the population of Pennsylvania is 12.8 million people, which is significantly different than Delaware's population, which is 967,000 people. And that's solely because Pennsylvania has two of the largest cities in the entire country, and just the populations of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh make up about 15% of Pennsylvania's total population, compared to Delaware, which is under 1 million people total. And now for the education between these two states, Pennsylvania ranks as 13th best overall throughout the entire country for education, and Delaware ranks as 22nd overall throughout the entire country. According to the list of the top 50 highly rated universities throughout the entire country, Pennsylvania is home to University of Pennsylvania, Carnegie Mellon, Lehigh University, and Villanova University. And unfortunately, none of the universities that are listed on the top 50 list are located in Delaware. And now for the weather between these two states. Since they're located pretty close to each other, the weather is mostly the same, although there is one pretty big difference. The Pennsylvania average high temperature throughout the year is 63 degrees, and the average low is 43 degrees. Pennsylvania averages about 38 inches of snow per year and 48 inches of rain a year. Again, these are just averages. I've lived in Pennsylvania my entire life, and I can definitely tell you that there has been winters where we have received less than 10 inches of snow, and we've definitely received winters that are much higher than the average. But again, these are just averages, so just take them with a grain of salt. Moving over to Delaware, the Delaware average high is 66 degrees and the average low is 44 degrees. Delaware averages about 15 inches of snow, which is a pretty big difference compared to Pennsylvania. Although both states do receive snow, it does seem that Pennsylvania receives about double what Delaware does. Delaware receives about 46 inches of rain per year as well. And now moving over to healthcare. So out of all 50 states, Delaware ranked as the 13th best overall state for healthcare, and Pennsylvania ranked as 19th best overall for healthcare. Although Philadelphia and the surrounding area is pretty well known for having some of the best hospitals in the entire country, Delaware did rank a little bit higher than Pennsylvania. And actually comment below if you knew that out of all of the doctors in the entire country, 1 out of 6 doctors were trained right out of Philadelphia. As far as tourism goes for both of these states, Pennsylvania has about 211 million people that visit the state every single year, and that number continues to grow. And from the both domestic and international travelers, they spend about $46 billion in Pennsylvania. And comparing that over to Delaware, which has about 9.2 million visitors every single year, and that number is growing as well. And those visitors, both domestic and international, spend about $540 $145 million in Delaware each and every single year. As far as economy goes for both of these states, Pennsylvania has a GDP of $726 billion with a 4% growth rate, and Delaware's GDP is $65 billion with a 4.3% growth rate. Now, if you took Pennsylvania and made it its own country, it would rank as number 19 for the highest GDP, right behind in the Netherlands. And if you took Delaware and made it its own country, it would rank as number 72 for the highest GDP, right before Panama. As far as the unemployment rate goes for both Delaware and Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania has an unemployment rate of 4.3%, and Delaware's unemployment rate is 4.4%. And now for the poverty rate between these two states, Pennsylvania ranks as the 24th lowest across the entire country with 11% in poverty. Comparing that over to Delaware, Delaware ranks as the 21st lowest throughout the country with about 10.7% in poverty. And if you're a professional sports lover, this is the category for you, because Pennsylvania has most major sports teams, such as for the NFL, we have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the MLB, we have the Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the NHL, we have the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And for the NBA, it is the Philadelphia 76ers. And if you're a big sports lover and so far you're leaning towards Delaware, this might actually change your mind, because there's not a single professional sports team that is in Delaware. So you'll have to root for either your old state's team or one of the teams that are surrounding Delaware. We're not quite done yet, so make sure that you stick till the end, because this category, we're going to go over the taxes and the similarities, but also the major differences within these two states. So for the gas tax, comparing Pennsylvania to Delaware, the Pennsylvania gas tax is 58 cents per gallon, and the gas tax in Delaware is only 23 cents per gallon. The median property tax in Pennsylvania is 1.58%, and the median property tax in Delaware is 0.56%. And now this is where it gets interesting, because the income taxes between these two states are very, very different. Pennsylvania is what's called a flat rate income tax. So no matter what you make, everyone is taxed at the same 3.07% income tax, as well as some municipalities charge an additional 1% income tax on top of that, but that really all depends on the different location that you end up moving to in Pennsylvania. So up until now, you might be thinking that Delaware is definitely the better state for taxes, but this is what a lot of people miss. So since Delaware is not a flat rate income tax, the income tax percentage varies on how much you make. So obviously the more that you make, the higher tax bracket that you get put into. The income tax in Delaware ranges from 2.2% all the way up to 5.5% if you make under $60,000 a year, whether that's single or household income. If you make $60,000 or more, you're immediately put into the highest tax bracket, which is taxed at 6.6%, and that's both for single and household combined totals. So although Delaware might look like the more tax-friendly state, you would need to specifically do your numbers, because if you or your household makes over $60,000 a year, the income tax rate is more than double what Pennsylvania's is. There are a lot of similarities and differences between these two states. So whichever state you're leaning towards moving to, make sure to reach out or click the link down below, and I would be happy to assist you purchasing a home in Pennsylvania, or I would be happy to get you in touch with my agent partner over in Delaware. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I will see you on this next video.